Hello, all. I'm coming back at you with another book recommendation. A book called Strategic Chess Exercises. Find the right plan to outplay your opponent. Published by New in Chess. With the author's name is Emmanuel Bricard. Um, this position here comes from exercise number 33 in the book. I find that this here is a really good way to present this book to you to show like what you're going to get out of it. So under each position in the book, he asks a question. In this case, he asks, which plan gives black a strong initiative? And honestly, I find myself quite often in positions like this when I'm playing over the board, where positions where you don't really, because we're not grandmasters or professionals or whatever, we don't really know how to find that move or have an algorithm to kind of think about what should you do. So this position right here, really, a couple of his explanations are very good, and it kind of has stuck with me and has helped me out actually when I'm in positions like this, like what should I do? So anyway, let's go get right into it. So black to move, black needs the initiative. Black goes E4, exclam. But before he goes E4, I'm going to just give you what the author says about his position. I quote, White has a queenside majority, which is difficult to exploit, and his bishop pair is stymied by Black's firmly supported central duo. Black's position looks promising, but it seems that he is struggling to make progress as the E4 square, well controlled by the white pieces. The breakthrough that follows sacrifices a potential passed pawn is thematic and is quite a normal way to mobilize a majority in positions with asymmetric pawns structures. And I thought that was interesting when he said that about asymmetric pawn structures. So, because actually I find myself in a lot of cases where my pawn structure is asymmetric with the opponent, and that's just a good idea to have. Like, should I kind of maybe sacrifice a pawn here to maybe get some mobility in this case because of the asymmetric nature of the position, where maybe I can have a chance to fight against some other pawns, or that mobility would be worth that pawn. So that's why I really like this exercise a lot. So E4 it is, as we see on the board. Really, there's several moves that white can do here. None of them really. E4, F takes E4 is not uh, bad. It's definitely, I think, gives white. I mean, gives black the kind of the upper hand here. Because next move coming next would probably be F4. I'm assuming, because again, that's about what the actual game is going to transpose into if we were to go F4 in this position. Except for in the game, as we'll see, the queen will be on F6. Go back to another alternative move. Okay, that's back at the starting position with E4. F4, which is obviously, you just gave black a pass pawn that's protected by other pawns down in your camp. I mean, it's just a bad idea. So we don't even have to even go through that. We can just obviously tell that it's just not a good move. So in the game, bishop take bishop, queen take bishop. Now pawn F takes E4. Now there is a little bit of pressure. There's a little bit of pressure. Uh, there's a little pressure here on B2. But however, it doesn't make any sense to even bother with that. So black goes F4. And again, this is what the game transposes to, except for the queen is on F6. And now, if you look at the strategy of black's position now, he has the this square to go to, and this one is kind of blocked by its own pawn. So I would definitely say black has an edge here. He's probably not outright winning, but obviously his queen is a little bit better placed. He's about to go on an attack to say, I mean, he's coming here. Uh, it's just he out of thin air just created this very dynamic position for himself on the king side, by the way, and with the queen side being locked up as it is, there's really nothing going on over there, so you can focus on the king side of the board. Let's see here. This is move 25. So rook f2 with obvious intentions of doubling rooks, threatening f4. Go ahead, get the knight into his centralized outpost. Rook f1, rook df1. Now queen h4. He finally activates his queen. And really this position here, although I'm looking at the computer and they're saying that it's equal, but optically, if you were white, this would be, if I was playing white, this would be rather uncomfortable, I think. Definitely white is for choice here. I mean, black is for choice here. Bishop d1, I mean, really, if he doesn't do that, I mean, knight is coming into g4. And now, rook f7. All these are just kind of obvious moves. Rook, queen c2. g5. Now this is one note I want to make here for you. Another good idea is whenever you have the central pawn structure just locked up and nothing can move, as you see the 3 central pawns of white, the 2 central pawns of black with the knight as on the outpost. In a lot of cases, it's okay to use the pawns in front of your king to attack, as you see was black doing that, because it's really, there's no real way that white can get the black's king. So c3, getting on the black diagonal, which is, again, just a lot of shuffling and maneuvering. And I guess that's one other thing I point out. Whenever I notice opponents doing a lot of maneuvering like this and not really making like dynamic moves, my spidey senses kind of tell me that they perhaps don't really know what to do in such a position, and maybe never even seen such a position or even the idea. So anyway, rook f8 makes sense. h3, h5. Let's get it on with the pawns. Because again, don't forget the center is locked up, so I can push my pawns in front of my king as I please, or just about as I please. Bishop e2, g4. Rook takes f4. It's all going down here from black, by the way. Rook takes f4. I mean, it's just really just a brutal attack at this point. Pretty much this is clearly winning for black. Now, the move I think black didn't see or maybe underestimated was knight f3 check. Because obvious, he can't take the knight with the bishop, because for example, if he goes here check, and I mean there's obviously he can't go here, because if he did, it's queen trade, and that would just be all she wrote. Basically all that was kind of forcing, and this piece here is under attack, and this is about to fall. The c3 is about to fall. So anyway, king f2 it is. And obviously he can't step straight up either, because then that would just be that. So anyway, as it was, king f2, queen take h3, takes a rook. Otherwise he'd be a rook down, because he just moved his rook. g3 check, king takes f3, g2, king f2, queen h2, threatening double check with promotion of the pawn to the queen. And that's the end of the game. He resigned. But anyway, going back to the original position, you take a look at this position and you evaluate it. and you say, all right, there's a symmetrical pawn structure. The center is locked up, or what have you, just about. I do have a dynamic break on E4. If I could somehow get everything locked up in the center, I could form an attack on the white king via the H4 square, and begin pushing my pawns. And you know, you can kind of think like that. I know that's kind of a lot to think about sometimes, but it's just the idea about it all, how to really evaluate a position to go from this to go to this, and just a short amount of moves. E4, bishop takes F6, queen takes F6, F takes E4, F4. Now, I mean, it's like, it's almost like it was just sitting right there in your face. It looks so simple now. Oh, the knight can go to E5. The queen can go to H4. You can have the G and H pawns be pushed. You can double the rooks, and there's nothing white can do about it. So, but anyway, there's many more examples of puzzles like this, or not really puzzles, but exercises in this book that I would highly recommend. Again, if you really, especially if you find yourself just stuck in positions at times where you just kind of just need to generate a thought and idea to just get you in some sort of comfort zone, so you can just, you know, make a good move just to keep the game alive, or to keep yourself, you know, just feeling good about the position. And for me, that means a lot. So anyway, I do appreciate you all watching. If you really want to support the channel, there'll be links in the description. And with that said, happy chess playing, and I will see you all again soon.